Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. This is me farmer EnvoyXtreme. Here we are going to do a short guide on how to produce cotton in Farm Simulator 22. So here we are. We got all the steps here required for producing cotton, from field prep up to seeding or planting in this case, fertilizing, harvesting and then transporting. Also behind us we do have two factory buildings. We'll go over that in a moment. That one there on the left is the spinnery. That's going to be your main place where you will sell your produce, which is cotton. And from cotton you can take that to this spinnery and then use that to fuel the tailor store, but we'll go over that in a bit. So yeah, step one is going to be field prep. So this involves either ploughing or cultivating your fields, and this can be done in a number of ways. I've got the modded 6-meter lizard plough, but also you can use normal ploughs, cultivators, disc harrows, power harrows, subsoilers or spaders, depending on what you want to do, and that is up to your wish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this out of the way. That is because we've already done the ploughing on this field in preparation for this little video here. And if you go to here, you can see it is now 50% fertilized, and that's because we ploughed a grass field, so it's already had its first fertilizer state on. So now, step 2, planting. And for cotton, you need a planter and not a, and this can be found under stores and under planter. So, got all different ones here. So you've got these here that will have, or some of these will have like power harrows attached to it, so it will do the power harrowing as well as the seeding. And so you've got a few options here. Planters, some of them could do more options than others, and some of them will have the option to fertilize the fields as well. But for this video, we're going with the modded Great Plains YP2425A, just for the sake of working with and ease of usage for me personally. After that, we'll go on to fertilizing and then onwards from there. So we'll hop into our John Deere 8RX. Switch the machine on. First, I'm going to turn on my field info, and I'm going to press L1 and X to unfold the planter. As you can see, we've already topped up with seeds, and you want that cotton icon there, which is like a cotton bit and a brown bit. And if you don't know what symbol that is, you press L1 on the PlayStation controller, and if you press triangle, it'll toggle through all the different options. Most planters won't have these options. They'll do soybeans, sugar beets, cotton, and sunflower as well. So yeah, corn, sunflowers, soybeans, sugar beet, and cotton in that. Obviously with the Great Plains is a mod version, so it can do all base game stuff. So what we're going to do simply is position ourselves like so, and press L1 and circle to lower the seeder or planter. Sometimes it'll come up as planter if you use it in the base game once. So L1 and square again to turn it on. And now we are seeding. Let's not hit that tree. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go T1 here. This will take perhaps 3 passes. I think I'll get done in 2. But yeah, so I'll get this done, and I'll bring folks back when we are done. There we go, so that is the seeding done. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to fold this and put it away. And in terms with growth time with cotton, a lot of this sometimes does depend on if you're running seasons or not. However, with cotton, the growth time with or without seasons is 8 months. And as you can see, we've got the field info tab up here, and there's a bit that says it needs rolling. This is an extra step that you can do if you choose to wish to get an extra yieldage. And the rollers you can find is here. So this is the Dalbo Power Roll 1230 HD and Mega Roll 2430. And rolling simply compacts this, and this has to be done after seeding. If you want to do this and effectively do it straight away after seeding is done or during the first growth state. If you roll when it's in the later growth state, it will just reset the growth state back to the beginning. So that's a little bit of a cautious there. And in terms of yield bonuses, you can get a 5% yield bonus. Because at the moment our field bonus is 65%. That's because obviously we've ploughed, we've got lime requirements turned off, and we've got weeds turned off, that was it. So yeah, that's why our yieldage is that. If we run with fertilizer on, no sorry, herbicides on, then you'll need to weed the field with a weeder or a liquid herbicide, depending on when they pop up. But for the sake of this video, we're not running weeds. So now, next step is fertilizing. After this, you can use a solid fertilizer or a liquid fertilizer. And this could be found under fertilizer spreaders and sprayers. For me personally, I tend to stick with solid fertilizer, which is fertilizer spreaders. So these are going to be your 4 base game options. Or you have an option here using the Bredel F2WS if you wish. But personally, I stick with the Amazones. That is because even though they got small capacities compared to the Bredels, like 18,900 compared to 10,000. And they do it all at the same working speed, that miles an hour. But with the Amazones, you could do a 42 meter spread. So we did 2 and a bit passes, so that is, let's say about 42 meters. So we may be lucky to get the full spread. So if we open the tab up here, we've got our planted width. And you go from 42 down to 15. So if we go like so here, close the menu, I'll say that's roughly about the middle. And okay, we're not getting quite the full width. So yeah, field is perhaps about like 45 meters long. So, and there's a couple of options that we could do here. Either we could shorten the fertilizer width so we get it done in equal 3 passes. It's up to you how you want to go about this, or you can use a liquid herbicide fertilizer spreader. So let record continue on that. And you've got some options here of some pooled options. And I do have a good working with up to 36 meters. Or you can go down the self-propelled route. So this will be found down here under crop protection. And you've got your 2 base game options here, the Berthold Brune 4200 and the Hardy Rubicon 9000. Working width of 36 meters for the Berthold and 48.5 meters with the Rubicon 9000. For us, if we use this, perhaps we could have just got about the full width done. But anywho, so we're going to get this done. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to let this grow. So I'll see you folks in about 8 months time. In terms of fertilizing, we was only able to do this because the grass already had that fertilizer state. If you fertilized after ploughing or cultivating, then went to seed and then tried to fertilize again, sometimes you won't be able to fertilize the ground. So in that case, you will have to wait until it's in its first proper growth state, which is when you start to see the little shoots coming out of the ground. So that's just a bit of information for you to know, folks. So I can find out which growth state it's in by, if we go down here, we got growing. So you can see it is bright to lime green, so that is the first growth state. As you go along, in this case 8 months, it will get darker and darker and darker. Then when it goes to orange, that means it is ready to harvest. So we'll get this done, and I'll see you folks when it's time to harvest. So alright, it's 8 months later and our cotton is ready to harvest. So as you can see, it's reading 95% yield bonus because obviously we didn't do field rolling, so obviously we don't get that extra 5%. But now we're on to the harvesting stages, and there's only 2 options at the moment: base game, and at the time of recording there's no all platforms or crossplay mods for the harvesters. So if we go to Con Technology under Vehicles, and you got the case Module Express 635. And sort of details is, it works at 6 meters work width at 6 miles an hour. And it's got a 12,000 litre capacity and it produces square bales. Then go over, it's got the John Deere CP690. And again, 6 meters work width, 6 miles an hour, 238cm round bales. So obviously, got to be careful which one you want to use, because especially in terms of transporting. Some transports would do both square and round bales, some will only do round bales, so we'll go over that into the next stage of collection. But for the sake of this, I'm using the case because it's got a bigger capacity. John Deere only does 10,000 litres. Cotton on the general leaves roughly about 5,000 litres per hectare. So we should get quite a bit. I'm not sure if that includes the yield bonus or not. We can find that out because this is a 1.6 hectare field, so with a 95% yield bonus. Sometimes you'll see it flicker to 96, 98. That's just something to do with the maths, I think, I'm not sure exactly. But what we're going to do now is simply open the help menu, press L1 and X to... Oh, sorry, I was following the harvester. It was already unfolded, my apologies there. But yeah, press L1 and X to unfold and fold. Then L1 and circle to lower the header. Then L1 and square to turn on the harvester. So zoom out a bit because it's a bit loud, so turn that off. And we are harvesting away. So see, it picks up those white cotton buds, or white cotton bits, and it leaves sort of the excess that's left here. So this will need to be mulched. You can roll it back in if you wish. And then again, that's how you get your 5% yield bonus from mulching in the next harvest. Personally, with cotton, I tend to roll it back into the ground. With other crops, if it leaves a crop stubble, like with wheat and that, then obviously that's a bit different. And that's for a totally different video, which I may do soon. I've got a bit of cotton here for some reason. Not sure why. So yeah, I don't think we're going to fill this harvester up, but that's fine, because we can unfold partial bells, so... And of course, if you want to, if you press L1 and up, the harvester does have a automatic drop option, like with the normal balers. And at this time, we can undo partial bells. Also, when it gets to a certain percentage, it will give us the option to drop partial bells, and I think that is around 10%. Okay, we're missing a couple of bits, but I'll get that at the end. So yeah. What I'm going to do now is, I'm going to continue on here, get this all harvested up for you folks, and then I'll bring you to our last step, which is transporting and selling. So, right then, that is the harvesting stage as it's done, and from this 1.59 hectare field we got 15,381 litres, so that is 9,673 litres per hectare. That is a field that had a 95% yield bonus. So now the transporting stage, and this is where you collect the cotton bells and take them to the sell point, which for most maps will be the spinnery here. Some maps will have different variations, and obviously we're not going to simply unload it here, because since we own this is a production plant. But on the basic game maps of Elm Creek, Baron and Ernengrat, you don't have to own it, you can simply sell it and you'll get a price. So in this case, if you look at the prices tab up here, and we'll go up to cotton. At the moment we're on normal economy, 2100 per thousand, and we are in September, so the price is actually quite low. Best time to sell it generally is around the latter part of the year into February. Of course, with this seasonal fluctuation, this is just a previous 12-month forecast, so don't always take that to heart. But yeah, generally speaking, 2100 is an okay price. I think the average price is about 2300 per 1,000 litres for what I've seen, so 2100 is a comfortable way of selling. So usually if this gets full, it will simply drop out. But since it's not full, we will have to unload it, so we open the help menu. And yes, it is at 10% when the baler is full that you can unload. So we're going to unload the unfinished bell, and we'll come out of here. At the back, and I see it slides out, and dumps onto the ground. So now, got a cotton bale there, but it's pretty heavy, at 4 tons. Unless you've got super strength on, which is only a PC mod, you will not be able to lift this, so you'll need a cotton collector, and there's a couple of options. So again, we'll go to shop under tools, and we'll go to cotton technology, which is somewhere here. Oh, it's right here, so yeah. Got different collector, so you do have a 3-point linkage collector, and this will collect one of any bells. Then you got the digital module 4, which will, again, as you can see here, it will pick up round and square bells. Same with the semi version, which we've got here. This will carry 2 bells compared to 1. But if you're doing round bells, you can use this. This is the cotton tag thread, the McCormack. And yeah, it'll do 3 bells at 238 centimeters width. Unlike your normal bells, the cotton bells will only have one size at the moment, so I think that's just there as part of the base game options there. So yeah, so what we're going to do is hop into our pickup here. Got the MAN TGS 1500 or 18.500 4x4, and to do this, we're going to have to position ourselves accordingly. So we'll do a U-turn and smash it into the cedar as we do, very professional. So yeah, we're going to press L1. At the moment we're in transport mode. Press L1 square and that will tip it, and now we're in collection mode. So it's simply a case of backing up. Sometimes it's probably best to only do this when you're right near it, because it can mess up with the steering, as we are learning here. I think, nope, I ain't gonna do it. So again, we'll just simply reposition ourselves, so we get more squared on with the bell, like so, and reverse, and now we can do it. And now what this will do is we'll pick up the bell. As you see, it's going in because it gets picked up by this little roller here, and then hop it in to transport mode. And I've got the field info or field info trigger on, so the unknown trigger will be over here, like so. And all you do is press L1 and square. This will tip it. As long as it's vaguely near the spot here, it will go in and you'll get your money. And at 50,000 liters it was, so you'll get a pretty hefty chunk of change. So 30 grand from small fields, and yeah, that's a reasonable price. Cotton only uses 450 leaves of seed per hectare. The information I got was courtesy of Driver 53 Gaming. He does some awesome videos, and that's the info I got from him on that. But yeah, so that is my guide to cotton. The next video is going to be utilising both these options here. So this is going to be the tailor store, and just a quick info. So cotton will come out there, it'll go into spinnery along with ivory wool, and that will produce fabric, which can be used taken to the tailor store to make clothes, and then as part of the FS32 production chains, that will give you clothes, and you can sell them for even a greater profit. So yeah, that's going to be part 2 of this little video here. So yeah, that's going to be it for me today. I hope you found this helpful and informative in some way, shape or form. If so, smash that button, feel free to comment below. If you want to share with them, please be my guest. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, then please consider. But for whatever you choose to do, hope everyone has a nice day. But for now, this is me, Farmer EnvoyXtreme, and I'll see you all very soon.